The bank statement shook in my hands as I stood in the middle of my kitchen, still in my scrubs from a 12-hour shift at the hospital. $47,000. Gone. The account that should have held my twins' college funds. Years of birthday money, Christmas gifts, my overtime hours, their dad's life insurance payout, showed a balance of $3.42. Mommy, why are you crying? Ella asked, looking up from her homework. At 8 years old, she was already too perceptive for her own good. Just tired, baby, I lied, quickly wiping my eyes. How's the math going? Her twin brother Ethan glanced up. Mrs. Peterson says we're the best in class at fractions. She thinks we should try for the advanced program next year. Advanced program, which required fees, which required money I'd been saving in the account that was now empty. My phone rang. Dad. Hey, kiddo. His voice was casual, like he hadn't just destroyed my children's future. Listen, we had to move some money around for Caleb's situation. Caleb's situation? My voice was deadly quiet. You mean his third DUI? The one where he hit a family's car. He made one mistake. Third DUI, Dad. Third. Don't be dramatic, Sydney. He's facing real prison time. Your kids aren't even smart enough for college anyway. Caleb needs this more. The words hit like physical blows. Not smart enough. My twins who were reading 3 grades above level. Who built elaborate Lego cities and explained their architectural choices. Who asked questions about the stars that sent me to Google for answers. You stole my children's college funds, I said flatly. Mom's voice joined the call. Of course it was on speaker. Family helps family, Sydney. Except you, apparently. You've always been selfish. Selfish? I laughed, but it came out cracked. I paid for Caleb's first rehab. And his second. I co-signed his car loan that he defaulted on. I've been helping family for years. That's what family does, Mom sniffed. Without keeping score. How did you even access the account? Silence. Then Dad. We're still listed as custodians from when you were a minor. You never removed us. The account I'd opened at 17, when I'd started saving for college. They'd insisted on being custodians to help. I'd been adding to it ever since, never thinking to change the permissions after I became an adult. After I became a mother. After I became a widow. That money included Nathan's life insurance, I whispered. My husband, killed in Afghanistan 4 years ago. You stole from your dead son-in-law. From your grandchildren. Caleb is our son. Mom shrieked. He needs us. And my children are your grandchildren. But I guess they don't count. Not if they're going to be ungrateful like their mother, Dad said coldly. Maybe this will teach you about priorities. They hung up. I stood there, still in my scrubs, staring at my children doing homework at the kitchen table. The same table where I'd taught them to count using the college fund savings as an example. Every dollar we save is a dollar toward your dreams. Now their dreams were funding their uncle's bail for his third drunk driving arrest. Kids, I said, my voice steady despite the rage building in my chest. How about pizza tonight? They cheered. Such simple joy. Such trust that Mom would handle everything. Mom was about to handle everything, all right. They had no idea what was coming next. While the twins ate pizza and watched a movie, I made calls. First to the bank, confirming what I already knew. As custodians, my parents had legal access. The withdrawals were legitimate, even if morally bankrupt. Next, to my friend Maria, a forensic accountant who'd helped with Nathan's estate. They really emptied your kids' college funds for bail money? She sounded disgusted. Sydney, who does that? My parents, apparently. Maria, I need you to do some digging. My dad owns a construction company. My mom runs a daycare. There's no way they had to drain my kids' funds unless they're in financial trouble themselves, Maria finished. Send me everything you have. Business names, tax IDs, whatever. My third call was to my brother-in-law, James, a real estate attorney. They did what? His explosion was loud enough that I had to pull the phone from my ear. Nathan would have Jesus, Sydney. What do you need? Information. Dad's always bragging about his real estate investments. The rental properties, the vacation home. I need to know what's really in whose name. On it. Sydney? I'm sorry. Nathan would be sick over this. Nathan, who'd made me promise to take care of our babies. Who'd spent his last deployment setting up their college funds because education is the one thing no one can take from them. Except someone had taken it. The grandparents who should have protected them. I spent the rest of the evening researching, planning, and most importantly, documenting. Every text, every email, Every family gathering where Caleb's latest disaster was excused while my children's achievements were dismissed. The pattern became clear. Golden child Caleb could do no wrong. Even his DUIs were mistakes or bad luck. Meanwhile, I was the daughter who abandoned the family by joining the Air Force, marrying a soldier, and moving 40 minutes away. But the real goldmine came from social media. My parents, like many their age, didn't understand privacy settings. Their entire lives were on Facebook for anyone to see. Dad's construction company page. Multiple complaints about unfinished jobs. Projects that looked suspiciously substandard. And interestingly, several posts about big contracts coming soon that never materialized. Mom's daycare page. Glowing reviews from 5 years ago, then a sharp decline. Recent comments about unexpected closures and staffing issues. One parent mentioned reporting them to state licensing. Then I found Caleb's Instagram. My chronically unemployed brother, who needed bail money, was posting from Vegas 2 weeks ago. Bottle service. VIP sections. Stacks of cash on tables. Just a little pre-celebration before court. Hashtag YWLO, hashtag bless life. Pre-celebration. Before his third DUI court date. Using what I now suspected was my children's college money. Maria called back at 10 p.m. Sydney, you sitting down? Hit me. Your dad's construction company is hemorrhaging money. He's been taking deposits for jobs he never starts, using the money to pay for previous jobs he underbid. Classic Ponzi scheme structure. Your mom's daycare lost their license 6 months ago for safety violations. They've been operating illegally. How are they not in jail? Because they're using family money to stay afloat. I found 3 mortgages on their house. The rental properties? Sold last year. The vacation home? In foreclosure. Everything clicked. They hadn't taken my kids' college funds for Caleb's bail. They'd taken it to survive, and used Caleb as an excuse. Maria, is what they're doing illegal? The business stuff? Fraud, definitely. Operating without licenses. Tax evasion, probably. Sydney, your parents are looking at serious charges if anyone reports them. Interesting, I said calmly. Thanks, Maria. Send me everything. James called next with his findings. The properties are gone, but here's the kicker. They transferred everything to Caleb's name 2 years ago to protect assets. He owns their house on paper. Caleb, the 3-time DUI offender, owns their house? Yep. And if he goes to prison, the house could be seized for damages to his victims, I finished. A plan formed in my mind. Clear, cold, and absolutely justified. The next morning, I dropped the twins at school and made my first move. I walked into the state licensing office with a folder of screenshots from Mom's daycare Facebook page. I'm concerned about the safety of children at this facility, I told the investigator. Their advertising is licensed, but multiple parents have mentioned they lost their license months ago. The investigator's eyes widened as she reviewed the evidence. Ma'am, if this is true, this is criminal endangerment of minors. We'll investigate immediately. Next stop, Dad's angry customers. I'd found 5 through Facebook who'd been scammed. I gave them the number for the contractor's licensing board and the Attorney General's fraud division. I thought I was the only one man said near tears. He took $30,000 for my mother's bathroom renovation. She's in a wheelchair. We've been waiting 2 years. You're not alone, I assured him. File the complaint. Today. But the masterpiece was Caleb. I sent anonymous tips to his DUI victims' lawyers about his Vegas spending, complete with screenshots. About his hidden assets, the house. About his parents' financial fraud that funded his lifestyle. Then I sat back and waited. The first domino fell within a week. The daycare was raided by state investigators. Mom was arrested for operating without a license and endangering minors. The news made the local papers. Unlicensed daycare owner arrested. Parents demand refunds. Dad's business crumbled next. The contractor's board suspended his license, pending investigation. Previous customers came forward. The Attorney General opened a fraud case. His mugshot appeared under local contractor accused of multi-year fraud scheme. But Caleb? Caleb was the crescendo. His victim's lawyers successfully petitioned to have his bail revoked based on the Vegas evidence. He was living lavishly while claiming poverty to avoid paying damages. The judge was not amused. Back to jail he went. No bail this time. Then the house. Since it was in Caleb's name, and he owed hundreds of thousands in damages from his DUIs, the victim's lawyers placed liens. My parents, living in Caleb's house, received eviction notices. 3 weeks after they'd stolen my children's futures, my parents had lost everything. The calls started immediately. What did you do? Mom screamed through the phone. You reported US? I reported crimes, I said calmly. Just like you taught me. Right and wrong, remember? We're facing prison. Your father could get 10 years. I could get 5. Caleb's facing 15 with his priors. Guess you can be a prison family together. This is your fault. Dad joined in. If you just understood family loyalty. I understood perfectly. You stole from your grandchildren to fund fraud and bail out your drunk son. That's the family loyalty you taught me. We'll be homeless. Mom wailed. The house is being seized. Wow, homeless? That must be scary. Good thing the twins and I have our apartment. Oh wait, we might lose that too since I was counting on their college funds for emergencies. Sydney, please, Dad's voice cracked. We're sorry. We'll pay it back. With what money? The deposits you stole from customers? The daycare fees you collected illegally? Or maybe Caleb's Vegas funds? Silence. Here's what's going to happen, I said coldly. You're going to write a letter to Ethan and Ella explaining why their college funds are gone. You're going to admit you stole from them. And you're going to promise, in writing, to pay back every penny with interest. We can't. Then I guess I'll see you at your trials. I'll be the one in the front row with my not smart enough for college children, taking notes on what happens to thieves. They sent the letters. Handwritten confessions that I immediately had notarized and filed with my lawyer. 6 months later, I sat in a courtroom watching my father get sentenced to 8 years for fraud. My mother got 3 years for child endangerment. Caleb got 20 years. The judge threw the book at him for his 4th DUI. He'd driven drunk to his bail hearing, and the financial crimes. The twins were with James and his wife. I'd told them their grandparents and uncle were in timeout for making bad choices. They'd understand more when they were older. As they led my parents away in handcuffs, Dad looked at me. How could you? Family helps family, I quoted back to him. Except you, apparently. The recovered assets from the fraud cases were being distributed to victims. As one of the victims, they'd stolen from me after all. I was entitled to compensation. It wouldn't fully replace the college funds, but it was a start. That night, I tucked in my brilliant, kind, resilient children. They were already talking about their school's science fair, bubbling with ideas about renewable energy. Mommy, Ella asked, will we still be able to go to college? Even without Grandma and Grandpa's help. I kissed her forehead. Baby, you were never going to college with their help. But you know what? We don't need them. We've got each other, and that's worth more than any fund. Plus, Ethan added seriously, we're really smart. Mrs. Peterson says so. The smartest, I agreed, hugging them tight. They'd taken the money meant for my children's dreams. So I took their freedom, their homes, their reputations, their futures. An eye for an eye? No. A future for a future. They thought my kids weren't smart enough for college. Turns out, they weren't smart enough to steal from a mother scorned and not face the consequences. They had no idea what was coming next. But now they had 8 to 20 years to think about it. And somewhere, I hope Nathan knows I kept my promise. Our babies are protected. Even if I had to burn down everything else to do it. Family helps family. I helped my children by removing the family that would only ever hurt them. That's what real parents do.